Hey kids! I'm super excited for today's eye shine video. We are going to be learning about one of the parables that Jesus was giving to a crowd. And he would use these stories as examples and lessons to give to the people who had questions, and he used them just so we could also, as Christians, be taught how to live our life in this walk with God, and how we should live in our actions as Christians, and how we should love others and love God. And yeah, so we're going to get into today's lesson. We're going to be in the book of Luke, chapter 10, verses 30 through 37. I'm going to be using some props here, so let's just get right into it. Okay. This next parable started with a man asking Jesus a question. The man who asked Jesus a question was very smart, but maybe he was trying to trick Jesus and see if he was a good teacher or not. This is what he asked. "Teacher, what should I do so I can go to heaven and live forever?" Jesus replied, "What is written in the Bible? What do you think?" The man answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all of your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself." "That's right," Jesus said. "Do this and you will live forever in heaven." But the man wanted to know more, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus decided to answer the question with a parable to help everyone who is listening understand. And Jesus said, "There once was a Jewish man walking along the road. He was coming from Jerusalem and headed to Jericho, which was a full day or two of walking. The road was rocky and there were small hills all around. The man was just humming to himself and enjoying the nice day when suddenly a group of men came out from behind the hill. They took all of his belongings and tore off his clothes, and they didn't want him to follow them, so they beat him up very badly, and they left him lying and bleeding on the side of the road." Poor man. A few minutes later, a priest was walking down the same path and noticed the man lying on the side of the road. Wonder what's wrong with him. Do you know what he did? You'd think he would run over and help the man. Instead, he crossed the road and walked on the other side, and he acted like he didn't even see him. About an hour later or so, another man called a Levite was walking down the road. Levites were people who assisted priests with their work. He would probably help the man, right? But you know what he did? He slowed down and walked a little closer to the man. But then he kept walking without helping him at all. You might be thinking that maybe the man lying by the side of the road, he probably looked like he was just resting or sleeping, huh? But nope, you could tell he was hurt badly because he was bleeding, and they took his clothes, and he was bruised, and he couldn't hardly breathe. Just a few minutes later, another man came walking. He was a Samaritan. One thing you should know about Samaritans is that Jews and Samaritans did not get along. And the man who was lying on the ground was actually a Jew. So what do you think that the Samaritan did? Probably just walk around him, right? Maybe even laugh at him a little bit? But nope. As soon as he saw the man, he went over to him and he felt compassion for him. Oh no! He put bandages on his sores and poured oil, and he tried to prevent them from getting worse. Then he lifted the man on his donkey and he took him to a hotel to take care of him. The next day, the Samaritan took out enough money so that the man could stay at a hotel until he was well enough to leave. He paid the man at the front desk of the hotel and asked him to take care of him. If he wasn't better after 2 months, the Samaritan would come back and pay for any extra cost. After Jesus finished the story, he asked, "Which of the 3 men do you think was a neighbor to the man who was lying and beaten on the road?" The man who asked the question at the beginning replied, "Was it the one who had compassion and helped him?" Jesus told him, "Go and do the same." Wow. Can you believe that story, guys? Can you imagine if you might have gotten beat up and you were laying on the side of the road and a person came along and they see you and then they do nothing and they just leave you there? How would you feel? I think if I felt, or if I went through that, I would feel pretty sad because they didn't help me. Well, you see, the Samaritan, he saw him on the side of the road and he had compassion in his heart. And even though he didn't even know him and he was a stranger, he decided to spend his money on the place that he took him to be cared for, his time, because who knows, he might have been running late for something. Maybe you're running late for school, or maybe you're running late for Sunday school, or for a soccer game, or for a football game. But he still decided to stop and help. And we should do the same thing. This parable today that Jesus gave, it was an awesome lesson on teaching us on how we should love other people and how we should treat other people because we want to be treated the same way. Imagine being at school and maybe a kid that wasn't so cool was getting bullied. Would you stand by and do nothing? Or would you maybe help him? So today's story ties right into our memory verse that we're going to be using for this month. And parents, I encourage you to get your kids involved and send us your videos. We want to see you guys memorizing your memory verse. I miss you guys, so I would love to hear you say them along with me because I'm going to memorize them with you, okay? Today's new memory verse is going to be out of the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. Treat other people the way you would want to be treated. And that wraps it up for today, guys. I miss you guys so much, and I hope that you learned from this, and I can't wait until we're in the classroom together. Remember, kids, always treat other people the way you want to be treated, and love your neighbors. And what is a neighbor? Is it just somebody who lives right next to you? Well, yeah, they're a neighbor. Is it somebody who sits next to you in your classroom? They're a neighbor. Well, guess what? Everybody around you, everybody in this entire world is your neighbor, and Jesus wants us to love them and show them His love. I love you guys. I miss you, and we'll be back again soon.